So just a quick video. I'm going to try to get off some of my political rants and get back to some of the things I started this account for in the first place. So I'm a year on my feet now, and credit cards are starting to come in and stuff, fixing my credit, everything else. Well, in the beginning, you got to start with these credit cards that charge your annual fees because your scores are still below 680, 700. So you get stuck with this. Well, here's just a tip. These credit card companies are the bottom feeders, all right? They are what they are, you know, these Indigo, Blaze, First Progress, you go First Apply, they're all the bottom feeder guys. They send you a card. I'm just dealing with one on the phone right now. I have zero balance. I got the card. I couldn't find the card. I finally set up the app. About 2 weeks later, I paid the account in full, used it one time, and now I'm not going to use it. I'm only using it as a credit builder because of the high interest rates. I have other cards that have better interest rates. I look on the account, there's a late fee. I'm like, how can there be a late fee already? I've only had the card for 2 weeks. Like, how is that possible? Once they accept you, they charge you that annual fee, right? In full. Most of them, some do it monthly, but in the beginning it's an application fee, whatever they want to call it. It's just, you got to pay us for credit. Their cycle starts. They consider that the end of the first cycle, the first day. And our government, you know, I guess I am going to get political because it's disgusting that they allow them to do these kinds of things. Our government allows them to start that. The dates for me were the 17th. The card was activated. I didn't even know. I get the card in the mail sometime in the 20s. Right? About a week later, I got the card. On the 14th of June, which was like another couple weeks, 2 weeks later, 2.5 weeks later, I paid it off in full. I only had the card for a couple weeks. Used it one time, paid it off in full. I look on the bill, it says there's a $25 late fee on the 11th. Exactly 24 or 25 days after they activated the card. So in their mind, instead of letting a cycle go by and then you see it on the following month, like what would make total sense, that first charge is the end of the first cycle. So then you have 25 days to make a payment or you're late right off the bat. Now, you don't actually have 25 days because you don't get the card to the 24th, 25th, 23rd of the month. Mine was the 17th when they activated. So a week later, you get the card. It takes 7 to 10 days to get to you. And then you haven't used it yet. So you don't really have a thing. You haven't even set up the account. You get around to it, because you're not using the card yet. And they're already trying to hit you with a late fee. Pro tip, you got to call them. You got to explain to them you didn't know, blah, blah, blah. You get a one-time where they take that late fee off and remove it from your account. You have to do that if you fall victim to that trap. Why our government doesn't do something to stop that? Why there isn't laws in place to protect people from shady stuff like that? Well, that's a great question. You know what I mean? Because, we know who writes the laws. It certainly ain't the politicians. And if you don't know what that means, you really need to get an education because you're a moron. But yeah, with these bullshit cards, keep an eye out for that. When you first get the card, immediately go on the account, verify there's the charges that are on there, start making your payments right away. Otherwise, they're going to catch you. And then you're late one time, and your credit's going to tank again. All right, but if it does happen, you always get that one time, customary where they will drop it one time and they'll remove a late charge. You get it like one time on your whole account, lifetime. Although you can do it more than once, if you show a good history of paying your bills. Alrighty, so there's your tip, and definitely watch out for these bottom feeder cards.